When the doors of the Sphere Las Vegas opened and the LED lights roared to life, the promise was simple: a futuristic venue unlike anything the Strip had ever seen. Wraparound visuals, immersive audio, a massive spherical shell blasting light into the sky. It looked like the future, but once people entered, something unexpected began to happen. One Reddit user described their experience with unsettling clarity. "The upper level at the Sphere gave me vertigo." Another wrote, "We were section 405. I had to leave the show after the first 2 acts because I could not just shake the feeling." And perhaps the most chilling message, that place is a death trap. The stairs are so steep, I will never go there again. These comments are not isolated complaints. They point to a pattern of guests feeling physically unsteady, disoriented, or outright unsafe in the venue. One person even posted, "I saw so many injuries from the Sphere, lots of old people stumbling and breaking or spraining things. I am surprised it is so underreported currently." Before we admire the visuals, the sound system, or the spectacle, let us talk about the real risk behind the shine. Because in a venue built to dazzle, the human body still matters. And at the Sphere, some people are feeling that fact. From the moment the Sphere lit up the Las Vegas skyline, it was celebrated as the future of entertainment, an architectural marvel, a shimmering dome poised to rewrite what a live show could be. With its 160,000 square foot LED wrap, 4D sensory effects, and capacity for up to 20,000 guests, the building looked unstoppable. Yet behind that futuristic promise lies a quieter truth. For some guests, the experience has turned into discomfort, confusion, and in certain cases, injury. This is the darker side of a building designed to overwhelm, and it raises a question. If the venue overwhelms the senses, are the senses safe? Part of the concern stems from the physical design. The Sphere's steep seating slopes, long stairwells, dark corridors, and heavy reliance on high-intensity visuals create an environment where human error, fatigue, and sensory overload combine. On Reddit forums, visitors who had attended shows described feeling dizzy or unsafe navigating the upper tiers. "The upper level gave me vertigo. I had to hold on to the handrail for dear life. The aisles are so narrow I felt trapped." Meanwhile, personal injury attorneys in Las Vegas have flagged the venue as a site where slips and falls can result in serious injuries, including traumatic brain injuries, broken bones, or spinal cord damage, especially given the steep stairs, crowded conditions, and sensory intensity inside. When you combine these design elements with large crowds, alcohol consumption, and immersive 4D effects such as wind, scent, and haptics, the margin for a misstep shrinks considerably. There are documented incidents that underscore the risks. One high-profile event occurred in February 2024 when a man climbed the exterior of the Sphere and caused an estimated $100,000 in damage before being removed by police. While that incident was not a guest injury, it exposed vulnerabilities in the venue's physical structure, security protocols, and risk landscape. More relevant to guest safety are legal blog posts written by attorneys specializing in premises liability. One such post titled, "I was injured at the Sphere," outlines claims of accidents involving poorly marked surfaces, crowd flow bottlenecks, inadequate handrails, lighting confusion, and design elements that do not account for human stress. The number of these claims may not yet be large enough for statistical certainty, but the nature and frequency of the complaints are enough to mark a warning sign. Another root of the problem is crowd management and human behavior. The Sphere seats up to 20,000 people and demands intricate logistics for ingress, egress, stairway traffic, and emergency evacuation. If the lighting is dim, floor surfaces glossy, handrails inadequate or missing, and guests are intoxicated or distracted, the chances of a misstep multiply. The attorneys' blogs reference Nevada's legal duty for property owners: maintain reasonably safe premises, warn of hazards that cannot be immediately remedied, and control crowd movement. If the venue fails in those duties, it risks not only guest safety, but serious liability. Then there is the sensory component. Many first-time visitors report intense and overwhelming visual and audio effects, wraparound screens, flashing lights, motion cues, wind, scent, haptic seats that can disorient, especially for older guests, those with sensitivity to motion or flashing lights, or for anyone who consumes alcohol and then attempts to navigate steep stairs and deep rows. Reddit users noted experiences like, "I literally thought I would fall forward, one of the steepest escalators I have ever been on. I could not locate my seat because my vision was bouncing off the canopy and the stair lights. I felt unsafe." These sensory overload issues are not just discomfort, they are risk factors. Venues like this are still learning how to manage ergonomics and behavioral design, and the Sphere appears to be pushing those boundaries. Consider one scenario. A guest attends a major show, arrives late, navigates long, dark corridors, climbs steep stairs to the mezzanine, consumes several alcoholic drinks, locates their seat in low lighting, and then stands up at the end to descend narrow steps under flashing visuals and crowd movement. The combination of alcohol, sensory overload, fatigue, steep stairs, limited handrails, and crowd density creates a high-risk moment. Multiply that scenario across thousands of guests per show, and you begin to see how once in a while becomes noticeable. Beyond the immediate physical risks, there are broader implications. First, reputational risk. An injury, serious or visible, at a high-profile venue casts a long shadow. Tourists share their experiences online, and a handful of complaints rapidly become a narrative. The Sphere markets itself as cutting-edge, premium, world-class. If guests feel unsafe or uncomfortable, the brand promise fails. Second, operational cost. If more incidents occur, staffing, signage, retrofits, handrail redesigns, lighting improvements may be required, costs that hit when the venue is still optimizing. Third, the broader model for Las Vegas entertainment has shifted towards spectacular, immersive, high-cost venues. If guests are being pushed into environments that sacrifice personal comfort in favor of novelty, there is a mismatch between expectation and experience. The Sphere's owners and operators, Sphere Entertainment, and partners must now address these issues head-on. That means transparent incident reporting, guest safety audits, stronger and easier to see signage, improved handrails and seat access, better staff training on sensory overload responses, accessible seating for older or more vulnerable guests, and potentially moderating the intensity of some effects for general audiences. It also means acknowledging that novelty is not enough. Human safety and experience are still the foundation. In the end, the Sphere remains one of the most ambitious entertainment projects ever built. It will likely host the most talked about shows for years, but ambition does not absolve risk. For visitors seeking thrill, it delivers. For safety-conscious guests, it raises questions. Las Vegas built the future. Now it must ensure that the future does not hurt you on the way out.